Yeah.
What are some ways that Phillips has kind of been able to keep employees engaged and keep the communication going? You guys have had such a loyal workforce for so long. And so how do you keep that going right now?
So I think there's a lot of things we're doing. Number one, thank God we set up Zoom, which we're using right now, but we've used other video conference platforms. And for years we used everything from Skype to WebEx to nothing else worked anywhere near as well as Zoom does. So first off, I want to say that the platform is critical because we're telling all of our employees, and I've been really clear from day one, I don't want anyone talking over the phone. If you're talking to another employee, you do it over Zoom face to face because people are used, especially the early stages, people are used to collaborating face to face. And to be working from home, already isolated from the outside world, they need it really up front. We needed to have a lot of face-to-face communication, as if you're walking to the office next door or the cube down the hall. So we really pushed that hard. How do you maintain group meetings, departmental meetings? So there's most departments are still having daily updates where they're holding people accountable, but they're also getting face-to-face views. We did a whole piece on how to effectively work from home, and I got on Zoom with all of our employees who have been working at home and gave them some best practices, some things to think about. How to dress, how to shower in the morning, or not how to shower. You got to take a shower in the morning. You got to dress as if you're going to the office. There's no more baseball caps and t-shirts and pajama bottoms with a Oxford shirt. I want people dressing the right way because it gets your mind, not because it's just because it gets your mind focused the right way. It helps you take it seriously, and it helps your family that's at home know that you're at work.
Yeah.
The other part that was big, we're doing a lot of. We've been doing a lot of video recordings where I update the whole company. I'm really working hard to be transparent, not scripted. If you've seen any of those, Christy, I'm not reading a script. I'm just letting people know here's the deal. It's not pretty. Our market's down. We're off by, in our OEM business, which is close to half of our global sales, is off by 60% or more. Our aftermarket business is off by 55%. So these are big numbers, and I'm letting people know here's the real deal. Here's what we're dealing with, but here's the reasons why why I'm not panicking about it. I'm sharing company financial information, letting them know that we're still strong and healthy, but we've got to make changes in order to maintain that. So really, a lot of these communications, a lot of things, but our employees have stayed loyal to us. I think I get a lot of good feedback from the videos. We typically get 450 views the first night that I post it, and people seem to be really happy with the fact that we're communicating directly and honestly and transparently. So that's been a big part of it too.
How do you think what happened then is going to transform how you're doing things in the future? Because I think there's a lot of good takeaways that we're all experiencing as leaders in a company, or practices that we've now adopted that we want to keep.
Best takeaways. Number one, daily communication is powerful, especially when you're not sitting face to face in the office next door. Daily communication like this is really good. Second takeaway, working from home, contrary to popular belief, is way more effective.
We have been preaching this for a couple years, Rob, you and me, right? So
yeah, but it's it's just one person's opinion, but fewer interruptions, better scheduling, and no lunch hour. So my wife brings me a snack. I think she throws it on the door and runs out real fast. She brings me snacks and lunch, and so I don't leave this chair most of the days for 10, 12 hours, and it's super productive. So that to me is a really good takeaway, that yes, it could actually work as long as we have a system strong like Zoom is, to be able to communicate face to face. And the biggest thing I know that I see is communication. If we can continue to over communicate to the masses, people feel engaged. Even if they're not sitting face to face, they still get that same experience, that same connection. piece, which is really critical for all of us to have. So those
Yeah.
are my
Yeah.
I think my biggest off the cuff takeaways that I have.
I think those are great ones because I think it's everything you guys are doing right. And I think it's some of the stuff that you're going to keep taking with you, like the daily huddles. I think there's just so much good that came out of that. And then being able to adopt and adapt as we go.
Yeah, and we're 9 weeks in, and we still do it. And you're on a lot of them, Christy, and they're really powerful. Every now and then we get into a couple soft meetings where we get on tangents, but we dial it back in. And I think 9 weeks in, they're just as powerful as they were the first day.